7 runners that are carded to go to post. I, in particular, was quite impressed with the way Gold Onyx is looking and moving. He featured in the gallops as one of the companions on Thursday. Sheldon, Gold Onyx, chance?
Definite chance. He'll be in my top 3 selections. He's a good horse on his day, can turn it on. We know what he can do on his day. The only concern for me is he's been well beaten by a horse called Master Plan. If you look at the form lines, and that's going to be my first pick, Master Plan. But Gold Onyx, he's well drawn. Pierre Stradham's going to give him every chance in the saddle. He's a horse who likes to just be given a bit of a chance. And we know when he turns it on, he can certainly turn it on. So there's a good speed in the race. Gold Onyx should certainly win a race of this nature.
Justin, how do you see the first leg of the Place Accumulator and the first of our graded stakes features?
Yeah, I like River Crossing here, to be honest. I thought he won a very good race in the Lonsdale. He's really done well since he came to Durban. I think there's still potential for growth in his merit rating. And obviously, with this being a handicap, he's going to have to run above it to win. So that's one quirk I had with Master Plan, is how much better than a 110 is he? Can you see him winning and becoming 112, 113 or so? I'm not sure. Silent Partner is 52 kilos, very well weighted. He's been higher before. So there's also Patriotic Rebel. He's an interesting horse. He found a bit of form back in the KZN Derby last time out. I don't think he's quite gone on to fulfill what they were hoping when they moved him from the Cape. So he's an interesting runner. Dubai Gene has also come down in the handicap a lot. Gold Onyx, great run in the 1900. Does well at Greyville. He seems to be, he's brought that consistency factor back to his game, which is important, shows that he's on form. But I think between Master Plan, Gold Onyx, River Crossing, Silent Partner, those are the 4 that will be in the finish.
Yeah, what I like about Gold Onyx is that he seems to come well at this time of the year, likes Greyville. He didn't disgrace himself in last year's Vodacom Durban July, finishing 7th under 3 lengths behind Palmadora. Prior to that, he won the Cup Trial. But the more I listen to you guys, the more I realize that even a race that I thought, well, I was actually contemplating a bit of a strike on Gold Onyx. He's well drawn with Stradham up in terrific form. The Sean Terry form in stable is in terrific form. I was actually thinking to myself when I looked at the card, well, he has a horse that maybe we can get some money. But the more I listen to you guys, the more perhaps I realize that this race is even more open than I initially thought. And River Crossing, the one you picked up on, Justin, obviously was supplemented into the Vodacom Durban July. Didn't make it. He does look a very, very good staying type. He's won his last 2. He's coming back slightly in distance, but ever so slightly. He's won at 25 and at 24. Does it concern you at all that he should perhaps be rather progressing in distance rather than coming back in distance? Does that worry you at all?
Not particularly, no. I think he's pretty effective. He'll be effective enough over this trip. I mean, 2-2, 2-4. It's not a huge difference. The form out of the Lonsdale's working out pretty well. Silvu Play, the son of Silvano, won the Pinnacle Stakes at Turfentine. Jeppy's Reef came out and ran a short head second. So the form's looking good. They accepted him for the July. The Bass stable run by Robert is doing very well here. I mean, it's a stable that's in top form. So I really think he's progressive. I think he's going to end up a decent horse probably in the next year or so. And he'll be my pick for this race. But as I say, I also do respect Silent Partner for outside money. He's a nice value-looking horse.
Well, Mike de Kock has got a day's work of runners. He may not have a runner in the Vodacom Durban July this year, but he's certainly filled up the card with plenty of runners. He's got 3 in this race, 8 Patriotic Rebel, 9 Silent Partner, 10 Rockers Luck. Justin seems to think that the pick of those might be Silent Partner. And, of course, your boy Samanga Kamala is riding him.
Yes, that's right. Samanga's in top form at the moment. He doesn't often ride for the de Kock stable, so thanks to them for hopefully giving us a foot in the door. But Samanga's doing very well, and I mean, he's as good as you get at 52 kilos, isn't he?
Let's just stay with Samanga for a moment because obviously it's been a big year for him, a big season for him. Winning the 2 million rand Sansui Summer Cup was obviously a huge moment for him to win a 2 million rand Grade 1 race, but it didn't stop there because he performed or repeated the feat in the 2 million rand President's Champion Challenge on heavy metal at Turfentine. You must have been very, very proud of him.
Yeah, no, very proud. He's had a good year. We've had a good year. I mean, it's not often that any jockey manages to win 2 of the so-called Big 4 races, and he's going to ride heavy metal this year in the July, so that's got a chance. Imagine he can pull off all 3.
Your 1, 2, 3, let's go.
For me, I'll go with River Crossing to win. I like Gold Onyx and Silent Partner for 2nd and 3rd.
Sheldon?
I'm going Master Plan to win, Gold Onyx to run 2nd, and Blackwing to run back in 3rd.
Well, there you've got it, straight from 2 of the very keenest form students in the country. Not just keen, very astute. They find the winners. Let's get on to the first leg of the Pick Six, and it's always great to welcome Mercedes-Benz back as a sponsor. It's the Mercedes-Benz Gold Vase, always an interesting race over 3,000 meters. Obviously leading into the Grade 1 Gold Cup, which comes in a couple of weeks from now. And Penn Halligan, I'm going to start with you, Justin, because he ran second to River Crossing. Alison Wright's runner for John Jones. A Day Lamy out of a Coastal Mare's got a ton of stamina in the pedigree. In good form, is a diminutive little horse, seems to like gravel. If you like River Crossing, do you like Penn Halligan?
Not particularly, no. I prefer Scoop the Pool, who's a kilo better off. Penn Halligan hasn't gone this trip. It's a bit of a step up. And the big issue with this race is compressed handicap. 3,000 meter handicaps are compressed, so the further you go down in the saddlecloth numbers, the further they are out at the weights. If you look at Sage Throne and Blake, you look at the relativity. There's 4 pounds between the two, but he only gets 2 pounds from Blake, so effectively Blake has got him held by a kilo. If you go down to Jeppy's Reef, who's a 94 and Blake's 104, there should be a 5 kilo swing. There's only a 3 kilo swing. So Blake is effectively very well in with everything. But then there's the form factor that you also got to take into consideration. And Scoop the Pool, Canterbury Tale, and Jeppy's Reef for me are the form horses. Blake hasn't really put his foot forward yet, although obviously he's targeting the Gold Cup. So he's improving with every run. He's only had 2 runs in the province. He's the one they have to beat, but you got to fancy on the Eton Mess run last time. Eton Mess is up 1.5 kilos. Jeppy's Reef is down 1 kilo, and Canterbury Tale's down 2 kilos. So on that run, Canterbury Tale's the horse to beat. He's progressive. He comes in with a decent weight at 56 compared to the others who must give him some. So he's a real Gold Cup contender, Canterbury Tale, but he's doing well at the moment as well. So he's probably the biggest danger to Blake for me. And then a horse like Scoop the Pool, I mean, he just seems to, the further they go, the better for him. He's an out-and-out stayer. He's got form. Jeppy's Reef has got form. So those 3 would be my biggest contenders with Blake, who is the horse to beat at the weights.
Yeah, well, Canterbury Tale was an impressive winner of the Gold Bowl. You go 2 miles at Turfentine, then you've got no stamina doubts. That much you do know. Interesting for me that Justin didn't mention Kolkata at all, who's got pretty decent form at his best around gravel track. He's certainly done well in the past. And do you give him any kind of a chance, or are you sort of more on the Justin page?
I'll give him a good chance. Just looking at the markings there, he's actually my second selection. I think he was well placed from Sean Terry in his previous races. They were looking for the Gold Cup last year and 1 or 2 other races. So the handicapper didn't really get a hold of him early on. He went off form for a while. He's had respiratory noises blowing after his races. But I just feel with the inside gate, the 3,000 meters, I think we'll see the best of Kolkata on the day. But saying that, I don't believe he can beat number 1, Blake. This is, for me, the horse that they all go to beat. Listening to Justin talking about the weights and the compressionists here, I believe Blake, he's had the 2 prep runs. And when I chatted to Dean Cannemeyer with his first run here, he said the horse is going to need it badly behind River Crossing. And even second time out, he said he's still going to need the run and he's going to progress from that. Inside barrier, Carl Nisius up. I believe Blake could be the horse to beat you.
How wide do we have to go in the Pick Six? It's the first leg of the Pick Six. People don't really like to go out the first leg of the Pick Six. So how wide would you play it, Justin?
I wouldn't play it wide at all. You know, there's so many handicaps coming on later on where you need to put in a whole bunch of horses. I think you can narrow it down to a few here. You need Blake, you need Jeppy's Reef, I think you need Scoop the Pool, you need Canterbury Tale, and you can put in Kolkata. His current form just doesn't inspire me at the moment. I think he'll probably improve in this run and then maybe be cherry ripe for the Gold Cup. But just with these horses and the current form they're in, they stick out to me more. But I think you just need 4 or 5 horses max here.
Sheldon, first leg of the Pick Six from your perspective?
From my perspective, I think you also got to go light here. You've got to do a couple of more competitive races coming up later in the card. I tend to agree with all those runners. The only other runner I'd like to chuck in would be number 5, Putney Flyer from the Wire Mooring Stable. Samanga Kamala is riding him. If you just look at his overall form, he's never too far off the action. So I think include number 5, Putney Flyer, if you're looking to go larger.
Okay, I think it's quite competitive. I think Blake, obviously, at the weights, the horse to beat, as the gentleman to my right have suggested, but perhaps might just need 1 more to get him fully trimmed for the Gold Cup. So I would go Blake. I would throw Penn Halligan in. He's got a very stout pedigree. I agree with you with Putney Flyer. I do obviously like JP's Reef. He's a solid stayer. Canterbury Tale is the winner of the Gold Bowl. No doubts about him getting home. And Kolkata, I've just got a funny feeling that Kolkata might improve. So, the first leg of the Pick Six, not an easy race, but one where our panelists here are suggesting you've got to look to go a little bit light, so you may need to take a little bit of a chance getting through that first leg of the Pick Six. But let's move on to the first of our Grade 1 features, and it's the first leg of Jackpot number 1. The first jackpot races 5 through 8, and the second jackpot obviously races 9 through 12. This is the Zulu Kingdom Explorer Golden Slipper. It's Grade 1 over 1,400 meters for the 2-year-olds. And, well, Happy Valentine has certainly blown me away. She progressed from 1,000 to her victory at Grade 1 level over 1,200 meters with ease. She's cracked a fabulous draw at number 2. She's got Sean Veal aboard again. He was a boarder when she won the Alan Robertson at Scottsville with a minimum of fuss. Guys, is she going to maintain her unbeaten record? And I kick off with you, Sheldon.
I think so. This is, for me, the best bet on the card. Happy Valentine. The dogs are barking about how good she's working. She's apparently blowing them away back home. She's putting in that work in the mornings. And her 2 victories have just been out of the top draw. Scintillating performances. Well drawn. 1,400, no problems for me. And this is going to be the best bet on the card. If the bookmakers price her up decently, again, last time they priced her up 7-2. The money came for her. It's a couple of horses with some fair form, some up-and-coming horses. But I think Happy Valentine, for me, the best bet on the card.
Justin?
Yeah, I agree with Sheldon 100%. The way she won the Group 1 last time, very, very impressive. Working well drawn. What else do you need in a 1,400? There's interesting other horses here like the De Kock duo, Berlinetta and Mansura. They drew wide, and the jockey booking confuses me personally. The way Mansura has been running, I thought she was the most impressive 2-year-old filly that we've seen out of the non-obvious Group 1 form, of course. And Anthony's jumped on to Berlinetta, who was also very impressive. So, and from a 17 draw in a 1,400. So that one threw me off guard a bit there because I personally felt Mansura was the better one. And Striker's got the shrewd booking of Winter Star. It's very like Striker to ride a horse like this. She annihilated the filly's nursery winner last time, Virgo's Babe. She's got a chance, but they all got to do what Happy Valentine's already done. We already know she's Group 1 quality. Anand Singh and Barry Erwin acquired her after her last win. Great piece of business because I think she's really, really good. So she's the one, she sets the benchmark. The rest of them have to try and prove they're that good. And then there's also our Cetri Pink from Jeff Woodruff's stable. I'll rule a line through that last run. Something went amiss there. She's by Rock of Gibraltar out of a Galileo mare. I really feel 1,400 she'll enjoy the bit extra. She's had a bit of a rest. And she really impressed me early on in that early Joburg form. So I think she's got a good place chance, but Happy Valentine is one of the best bets on the card. I think she'll win.
Doesn't do your stud any harm, but the fact that she's by Silvana as well,
Yes,
I guess.
that's right, yeah.
Interesting, Happy Valentine, it just shows you, top horses come from anywhere and at any price level. She was a relatively inexpensive, I stand corrected, but I think she only cost 240. Was it 240? 240,000 at the KZN yearling sale last year. And of course, we've got the KZN yearling sale this year again on Thursday, Friday, prior to the July, that's taking place at the Suncoast Casino. So you all should pop along to the KZN yearling sales because Happy Valentine's follow-up might just be lurking somewhere in one of those boxes. She was as current horse prices go, a relatively inexpensive purchase. Won her first 2 starts, as you say. The original owners have now sold out. Draw 2, the guys are suggesting she is the banker bet of the day, and certainly from a jackpot and a Pick 6 perspective. I was also interested by the fact that obviously Anthony's aboard Berlinetta, because aside from Happy Valentine, I thought when I saw this filly win first time out, I thought this could be something special, but she hasn't cracked a draw. 17 is very wide out. I wonder if Along Came Polly is not going to be the one that's going to chase Happy Valentine home again. You guys haven't mentioned her. She ran second in the Alan Robertson. She also changed hands after her first start. Come on, guys, isn't she the one to chase Happy Valentine home again?
I think she's got a chance, but she's held. She's well held by Happy Valentine. I can't see her improving to beat her.
No, not to beat her, but to finish second.
She's got a place chance. She's proven at Group 1 level as well. And as you say, Gavin acquired her after her first start, a shrewd purchase from him, because now she's